had an unprecedented number of phone calls saying that if I buy a property in Footscray, that'll be it, I'll be murdered.
Grandsire. Where? In Brunswick and Footscray. Franco Cozzo.
You wanted to wipe the slate clean, start all over again.
I say that you have a cancerous growth there that has to be carved out. Now, if we don't clean out these slums, the central areas are going to rot.
We've heard you found Australia's coolest suburb.
Which, in fact, is right here in Melbourne. It's actually Footscray, which would surprise a lot of... Yes, isn't it? It's so weird that you'd think that West is best these days.
I wouldn't have thought. I grew up in Melbourne. I would not have picked out... I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Footscray. I love Footscray. But I wouldn't have thought the coolest in Australia.
No.
I half expected to go into the kind of western suburbs, you know, a lot of dubious characters, a lot of dubious places, a lot of dangerous places, but imagine my surprise, this whole place has been gentrified.
Where was this going to end?
Take the money and go away.
What would we have left?
Located 5 kilometres west of Melbourne, Footscray became Melbourne's central industrial area during the second half of the 19th century, but a decline in the manufacturing industry in the 1960s led to a fall in house prices. In turn, Footscray formed into a unique ethnic enclave for newly arrived migrants, which was created through a bottom-up phenomenon. At the turn of the new millennium, market-led models of urban renewal aimed to mitigate urban intensification and remove Footscray's shady reputation has resulted in the construction of multi-storey apartments and flashy infrastructure upgrades that have caused house prices to increase, relocating the citizens which gave Footscray its cultural identity. The current gentrification of Footscray is creating an exclusionary, culturally homogenous space, which is displacing communities and increasing inequality. Upon examination of environmental history, we can appreciate how our understanding of ecological values informs our perception of cultural values. Straight, pure, picturesque landscapes helped establish what cultural values were considered to be normal, whereas contaminated, unregulated, immoral and unnormal spaces were considered to be queer landscapes. This connection between landscape and cultural values offers an opportunity to contest the cultural norms prescribed to us through neoliberal governmentality. By celebrating queer, toxic landscapes, we can help foster a new Australian identity which recognises the importance of social capital, help restore culturally rich communities and mitigate the negative effects that gentrification has caused in suburbs such as Footscray. Constructed in 1927 and discontinued in 2005, Bradmill's factory in Footscray is a site I have identified as possessing clear ecological attributes. Proposals to turn the site into high-rise apartments with shopping centres will further increase housing costs and continue to displace existing residents. My design aims to provide a centre for grassroots community movements in order to support the culturally vibrant community, which has been disrupted by gentrification. Furthermore, by celebrating the toxic queer elements on site through an interactive experience, the design aims to change our perceptions of what is desirable, creating a voice for marginalised citizens which prioritises social equity over capital. Introduction of a bioremediated lake which displays the industrial waste of surrounding factories, educates site users about consumption and production caused by industrial manufacturing. On-site materials are reappropriated to create an interactive user experience, and unmanicured ecological supported through the exposure of soils and addition of plant species. The retaining of pre-existing conditions acknowledges the physical and ecological change landscape, building awareness of environmental sustainability. Propagation of communal gardens will help foster citizen ownership and help build strong community ties. Using abandoned factory space for markets will provide employment for citizens and support cultural practices. Temple art galleries, indoor skate facilities and a community centre will provide a space for community engagement, which supports cultural vibrancy and a self-sufficient community. With the presence of designers working as intermediaries between local communities and government, the establishment of grassroots community movements provide a sustainable alternative for top-down urban renewal projects, prioritising the cultural, social and environmental factors over profit-driven initiatives. Furthermore, the celebration of queer ecological elements on site allows the landscape to challenge commonly accepted Eurocentric ideas of normality which has the potential to harvest a new Australian identity which fosters cultural and social equity.